Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I am Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, on Instagram Movies TV Mad X. Smash the like button if you love me. I know you do. Subscribe if you're new. Please have your say. As you can see from the title, we have huge breaking news after deliberating for the past few months, after so much chat on the internet. Yes, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will be released in December, and we're getting a full extended trailer in 4 days. I think that's either Wednesday or Thursday. This was actually a movie that it was my most anticipated DC movie, even before I saw a brilliant early test screening. But when I saw the test screening, I was very, very excited, even more excited for this movie. But this movie was dumbed down from its concept stage. Jason Momoa and James Wan came up with a very exciting sequel. It was going to be a road movie. It was going to basically talk about environmental issues, have environmental commentary, because that's what Jason Momoa wanted. He co-wrote the script, but from Jason's own mouth, they dumbed down that concept. And I think Jason Momoa is a great guy. What you see with Jason Momoa is what you see is what you get. James Wan is a great director. How much money will this film make? Will it be as big a disaster as The Flash, Blue Beetle, Shazam, Fury of the Gods? Let me take you into the minds of Warner Brothers, because even up to last week, they were deliberating whether to release this movie or not. I assume in the end they thought, let's make the decision that gives us less heat. You can't put it on Max because you still have to pay all the actors and everyone for a cinematic release. This is what happened with Black Widow when they put it on Disney Plus. It became very problematic with Scarlett Johansson, and she was going to take legal action against Disney. And so this is a very, very interesting situation. What is this movie? So they gave us a tease of the trailer. Now you've got to be very careful with this tease because it's a mixture of the original Aquaman film with a few kind of scenes from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now I did see the CinemaCon trailer and it did look really good. What was interesting to me from what we saw from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in this tease of the trailer and in the CinemaCon footage, I didn't see any of this stuff in the test screening. That proves how many times they've changed this movie. But they were deliberating for a long time whether to release this movie, even up to this week. There was even this situation where Warner Brothers were leaking to the press a couple of days ago that they'd lost the footage of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let me tell you, that is impossible. These films have multiple copies on hard drives. That would never have been the case. And so they didn't really know what to do with this film. Because the other DCEU movies were an absolute disaster, they didn't know what to do next. One of the most sellable commodities of the first film and what gave the film legitimacy was the performance of Patrick Wilson as all. And so, to no surprise to anyone, including me, they upped Patrick to co-lead of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Because it's a bro road movie between Arthur, Aquaman, and Orm, Patrick Wilson. That is the heart of the movie. I'm assuming that's still the heart of the movie. This film will look brilliant because James Wan movies look brilliant. But is the heart, the essence that I saw in the test screening still there? As I say, this is a very sad situation. And also, what was the hugest bump in the road for this movie was Amber Heard. Now, to be fair to Walter Hamada, who made an absolute mess of this franchise when he took over from Zack Snyder, he did try his best to get rid of Amber Heard, citing bullshit bad chemistry. Amber was smart, and her representatives were smart enough to say, no, you ain't getting rid of me from this movie. So as far as I know, she's still in this movie. She was in the test screening, the early test screening that I saw. What's amazing about James Wan with the first movie, he made bad actors look good. Because that's what I'm saying. There's only two really good actors in the first film, and that's Patrick Wilson and William Dafoe. And William Dafoe's role in the first movie was shrunk down so much, there wasn't a performance really there. Of course, William is always brilliant. Of course he is. He's one of the great actors. But it was really Wilson's performance, Patrick Wilson's performance as Orm, that sold that movie to the public. He's one of the great DCEU villains, along with Michael Shannon as Zod in Man of Steel. Now, in the test screening, of course, Patrick gives another brilliant, emotional performance. But this film, this sequel, is really mostly about Black Manta. And if you've seen the tease of the trailer, he says he's going to destroy Aquaman and everything he holds dear. And that actor absolutely delivers, in the test screening I saw, a brilliant performance. So as I said on the top of the show, this was my most anticipated DC movie. And now it's being released, I'm actually quite excited. No, I will not be boycotting this movie because of James Gunn. I will not be boycotting this movie because of Amber Heard. I don't care that Amber Heard tried to destroy Johnny Depp. I don't care that she crapped on Johnny's bed. That is irrelevant to me. I grew up in the entertainment industry. I'm an artist. I perform my own plays here in Cyprus. And I'm going to support, fellow artists. And I'm a DC fan. I want to see an epic Aquaman sequel. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get the movie I saw in the test screening. And there's another situation here. James Gunn has, trimmed the fat off of this movie. I believe it was James Gunn who did that shitty gag when the Flash and Batman touch, the lasso of Hastion in the Flash movie, and they all start being like idiots, like, Batman saying he's an asshole and he doesn't give, he could just give money to the people of Gotham, blah, 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 and he's arrogant. That sounds like a James Gunn gag to me. And that's my concern, that this will not be the beautiful movie that James Wan and Jason Momoa envisioned. That it's going to be a movie that's been trimmed down by James Gunn. As I said earlier, they already destroyed in the concept stage the beautiful idea and concept of Jason Momoa and James Wan. And that's a shame. But wouldn't it be funny, after all the hate for Amber Heard and the hate for this movie and the agendas from the Snyderverse stans who want all the movies to be crap so they can say, bring back Zack Snyder, if this movie actually is a success? Who knows? Because seeing the tease for the trailer has got me hyped for this movie. I want this movie to be good. And also, there's another question. Will James Gunn finally explain in this movie, by adding something into it, how we're going to leap from the old DCEU to the new DC universe? It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, I haven't seen anything from James Gunn on Twitter or anywhere else promoting this movie. It will be interesting what he has to say about it after the trailer, if anything. But this movie is being released. James Gunn, one of the major reasons, as I've said many times, James Gunn was brought in by Zaslav because Zaslav felt he was a popular director and he could influence these remaining DCEU movies to be successful. So whose Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is it? Is it James Wan's and Jason Momoa's, or is it James Gunn's.